Message from Sunnahfollowers. This is from Shahadah. We need to unite. Sisters, wear your hijab. Wear your beards. Be proud of your beards. Stay home, stay in your home. Stand up, unite, and stand for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That's right, Solly. We all should stand up in solidarity, not transgressing the limits of Allah, but standing together with patience and understanding. This is Sunnahfollowers.
With dignity, humility, and balance.
If you want to learn about how to balance and maintain your faith every day, you need to be here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, being taught by Laila Nasheeba, streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnahfollowers. Hope to see you there, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Yusuf and this is Ayub. And if you are benefiting like we are from the classes and the ongoing programming and tuning into the Sunnahfollowers, please donate. Let this be an ongoing Sadaqah Jariyah on your behalf. You're helping the kids, the converts, and everyone seeking knowledge. And it's a wealth of information every day you tune in. Don't forget, you are being rewarded for your generous donations to keep this programming on air. You know, just like what you're hearing, put your dollar where the dollar's at, right here on Sunnahfollowers. Don't forget, donate right here to Sunnahfollowers and Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Listen, we are in dire need of donations to keep these shows running and available for you 24/7. So that means when you're in the car, it's available for you to listen to. Whether you're at work, streaming, playing a game, it's available for you to listen to. Rowing your deed and learning about the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful different topics of Islam. Listen, one of the heaviest deeds that could be placed on your scale on the Day of Judgment is Sadaqah Jariyah. Yes, I know, I'm trying to build deeds daily. So you can too. So listen, feel free, and please, from the bottom of your heart, donate to this wonderful cause, wonderful website and platform to continually push out shows that will benefit you and the Muslim Ummah. Yes, you can donate by going to the Sunnahfollowers.net website, pressing the donate tab. You can also scan the QR code in YouTube on the far left top of our videos that are streaming. Listen, guys, this is very important, and take this as important. We want to keep this programming available for you 24/7 so that you have access in your car, anywhere you choose to tune in to this wonderful programming. Yes, guys, it's all at your disposal. So listen, feel free to donate. Once again, remember, Sadaqah Jariyah, one of the heaviest deeds on your scale on the Day of Judgment.
Okay, Ina alhamdulillah, wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I'd like to welcome everybody to our Sunnahfollowers kids and our new Shahadah class, which is held every Sunday here at Sunnahfollowers. And, you know, this class consists of two books. Two books that I hope that everyone purchases. And the books can be purchased off of Amazon. Just go to Amazon.com. For this class, we are studying from the book written by Dr. Kareem Abu Zaid, entitled My First Juz Amma. Excuse me. You have to excuse me. I was rushing to get here. My First Juz Amma. Okay. And this book, it can be purchased on Amazon. It's written for the kids, but the new Shahadahs can also benefit from it. Because since you are new to Islam, you're new to the Arabic terminology and all of that, this book is great for you too. And again, I'm going to help, you know, walk you guys through the book. And also the second book that you will need for this class is the book written by Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atlee. Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atlee. And this is one of his newest books. It's entitled He Was. And it too can be purchased off of Amazon. Again, buy the book on Amazon. And for those of you who live in the United Kingdom, the number one, I was looking at the geography of the website, the number one city that joins the people that come from most people that join my classes come from London, England. And then the second city is New York City. Can you believe that? I got a lot of people from New York, which I ain't surprised. New York. Okay. And so for those of you who are out of the country, if you can't buy the book, then you can get the ebook, the Kindle. Both of these books are in Kindle form. No, both of them are in Kindle form. So please go to Amazon.com. You want My First Juz Amma by Dr. Kareem Abu Zaid, and He Was by Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atlee. And I have the books listed here at the bottom of the screen on the ticker. And also I'm going to show you how they look now as I put the PowerPoint up on the screen. So let's get started. Oh, is this the right one? Oh, I got the wrong PowerPoint. Hold on. I was rushing. Where's Sunnahfollower kids? Oh, here you are. Here you guys are. I had the wrong I had the PowerPoint. And by the way, we do have the 6 o'clock class tonight. The 6:30 class tonight. That was the PowerPoint I just had up. I'm giving y'all a quiz. By the way, there will be a quiz in that class. That was the quiz that was just posted up here. Okay, let me go to this class PowerPoint. Here it is. Okay. And these are the two books. Let me make it bigger, larger. Okay, this is how the two books look. My First Juz Amma. You can get this off of Amazon. And then this one is He Was by Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atlee. So these are the two books. I'm going to keep it up there. You guys can take screenshots of the book so you get the right one. Because Dr. Kareem Abu Zaid has a couple other books on Juz Amma too. But this is the one I'm going to be teaching from for this class. My First Juz Amma. Because the new Shahadah. And then the second book, He Was. That's how it looks. By Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atlee. New Shahadas, you got, I'm giving y'all a chance to do it. Yeah, you got it? Okay, good job. Good job, Brother Amir is here. Good job. You got the screenshots. Okay. So, we're going to start with My First Juz Amma. The last time we met for this class, we talked about how there are some people in the world who just want to do things their own way. Why? Because they just don't want to live by any rules. They don't want to live by anyone's regulations. They just want to do things that appeal to them. Then there's another group of people who want to do things the right way. The right way. The right way as defined by Allah. Because they understand that we were created to worship something greater than ourselves. And that something greater than ourselves is Allah. Okay? So, if you want to live your life fulfilling your obligation, which is to worship Allah and to worship Him the way He legislated, we turn to two sources to do that: the Quran and the Hadiths. Now, the Quran is like a big, beautiful garden filled with a lot of wisdom and knowledge and guidance. And that wisdom, that knowledge, that guidance doesn't come from man. It comes from Allah. So when you look at the Quran, guys, understand that book contains a lot of wisdom and guidance from the one who created us all. And when you look at the Quran, I want you to understand that it has 114 chapters. How many chapters of direction are in the Quran from Allah? 114 chapters. And each one of those chapters is divided into 30 parts. And that's where the word Jews comes from. Jews come from. Well, during the month of Ramadan, some of the new Shahadahs, you asked me, you said, Sister Laila, is it true that we have to read one juz of the Quran each day in order for our fast to be accepted? I told you, no, that's not correct. You don't have to read the Quran at all for your fast to be accepted. But a lot of people like to read one juz because, again, Ramadan is the month of the Quran. It's the month in which Allah completed it. And we don't want to be like the non-Muslims and forget what the commands of Allah. So I want you guys to remember this, that there are 114 chapters in the Quran. And those chapters are divided into 30 parts, 30 juz. That makes it easy for us to break down and read it. And each juz consists of chapters. And the chapters of the Quran include stories of what happened to the people who came before us. And also lessons from history. You learn about the history of mankind. And also, each chapter has important messages that teach us about good and evil. What happens when we make good choices in life? What happens when we make bad choices in life? And also, messages about paradise and the warnings about the hellfire. So you can see, guys, the Quran, this message of the Quran is like a big treasure chest. It's filled with so many things that we can benefit from. Number one is filled with belief in Allah. You want to learn about Allah. What is it that makes the Christians, even though they are people of the book? What is it that makes the Jews, even though they are people of the book, they're still non-believers? It's because they claim to believe in Allah, but they really don't. You have to worship him the way he commanded. So the Quran contains that information of what it means to believe in Allah and how to worship him correctly, how to love him, and all of that. And also, the Quran is a treasure chest that gives us the rules of life, how to live in life and be content in this world. This world was never meant to be a paradise for the believers, but we still can live here in contentment. So the rules on how to get along with other people, people who are Muslim and people who are non-Muslim, how to treat our families, how to treat our parents, how to treat each other, the rules of money, the rules of the lawful, the unlawful, all of that is in that treasure chest known as the Quran. And again, another important thing in there are the stories of the past, of what happened to the people before us, so we don't make the same mistakes they did. So these jewels are like precious treasures that guide us on the right path, and they help us to be the best that we can be in this world to earn the blessings of Allah. Okay? And I want everyone here to understand that even though Allah is the creator, the Quran is not a creation of Allah. He didn't just create it and send it down to earth. No. Allah didn't create this book and then throw it down on the earth. No. The Quran are the words of Allah. Allah speaking to us. These are the words that he spoke to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he in turn shared that information with us. So I want everyone here to remember that the Quran is not a creation of Allah. Allah is the creation of everything, but the Quran is not his creation. These are his words. It's the speech of Allah. And when we listen to it or we hear it being recited, ponder what Allah is saying. Because just like a story has a strong ending, okay, the Quran has a strong ending too. And the strong ending of the Quran is what we're going to be going over in this class, which is Juz Amma. Juz Amma. Juz Amma is the strong ending of the Quran. And it wraps up all the essential lessons from the previous parts of the Quran. And it, that was introduced to us. And Juz Amma, or this last part of the Quran that we're going to go over in this series, consists of 37 chapters. 37 chapters. And many of them are short, like Surah Ikhlas, like the Nas, the Falaq. They're short chapters of the Quran. But even though they are short, they contain powerful meanings, powerful teachings. So how many chapters of the Quran are we going to go over in this series? 37. And what 37 chapters? The last 37 chapters of the Quran. Okay? And these chapters, they teach us three important things. They teach us what it means and how to believe in Allah. They also teach us about the belief in the prophets, and these are all pillars of faith. One of the pillars of faith is we have to believe in Allah and his oneness. Well, Juz Amma teaches us that. These 37 chapters relate to that. Also, another pillar of faith is you have to believe in all of Allah's prophets. Well, Juz Amma, these last 37 chapters of the Quran teach us that too. And also another tenet of faith or another pillar of faith is we have to believe in the day of judgment. The day that we will have to stand before Allah and be judged for the choices we made. Well, Juz Amma, these 37 chapters reinforce that. So when we study these last 37 chapters of the Quran, it will help us to learn about the pillars of faith, why we are here, how to be kind to each other, how to make good choices. It'll also tell us what bad choices bring about for us in the long run. It also shows us how to live a comfortable life here in this world. So that's why we're going to begin with Juz Amma, the pillars of faith. Does everybody understand that? So this is why I want you to buy the book. For those of you who have not yet purchased this book off of Amazon, you need to get it. Because those 37 chapters we're going to go into and break down. I'm going to give you the meaning of them over the series. And inshallah, they will help to reinforce your faith. We are talking about how to keep your faith strong. How do you keep your faith strong? By reinforcing your belief in Allah. Those pillars of faith. The pillars of faith, which consist of believing in him, believing in his prophets, believing in his books, believing in the day of judgment and his destiny. Okay, so let's see how well you guys understood what I just talked about. Here's a quiz. Pay attention. Sunnahfollower kids, get ready. Who can tell me? The Quran is divided into 30 parts. And what are those parts called? Who can answer that question? Okay, Shuaib and Hidra. Shuaib and Hidra. The Quran is divided into 30 parts. What are those parts called?
They're called Juz.
Does everybody agree? Good job. MashaAllah. Exactly. They're called Juz. Good job. The next question, Sister Asma and Najma. Believing in one God is called what? When we say we believe in one God, what is that called? MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Tawheed. You hear my babies? My babies know these answers. Tawheed. That means to believe in one God. What is the last part of the Quran? Sabrina, did you want to answer that? Sabrina? Did you?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Amma.
Say it again,
Juz
baby.
Amma.
MashaAllah.
Juz Amma.
Say it again so these new Shahadas can hear the correct pronunciation. Say it slow for them. Go ahead.
Juz Amma.
Okay, y'all hear how she pronounced it? Yeah, that's one of my babies from Africa. Perfect tajweed. Juz Amma. You hear how she did it? The M is doubled. The M is doubled. Juz Amma. Just like she did it. So Juz Amma. That's the last part of the Quran. Good job. Sister Tahira, the Quran is which of the following? Is it the words of Allah or the creation of Allah, Tahira?
The words of Allah.
Does everybody agree with her? MashaAllah.
Yes.
MashaAllah. Good job. Yes. Yes. I want everyone. Some of you got it wrong. Some of my new Shahadas. A lot of my new Shahadas, you guys are learning Islam from the wrong people. I'm just going to come out and say it. A lot of y'all are listening to these brothers and these women who are Asharis. I keep telling y'all, Asharis do not believe that the Quran is the words of Allah. They believe it's the creation of Allah. The Asharis are another form of Sufis. Y'all got to be careful. I tell you, new Shahadas, be careful who you learn this religion from. All you need is one teacher. You cannot listen to me and listen to those brothers and sisters y'all listening to. Because those brothers and sisters y'all listening to, number one, they're not on my level. Number two, their belief system is not the same as mine. Okay? So number three, you're going to end up confused. You know, you need one teacher. Stick with it. Stick with them. Either you're going to believe this way or you're going to believe the other way. Either you're going to believe based on Quran and Sunnah, or you're going to believe based on Quran, Sunnah, and science, because that's what the Asharis do. If they can't back it up with science, then they don't accept it. So I keep telling you, new Shahadas, you got to stop that. You're going to be twisted. I am not the same as those people y'all listening to. They can call me Wahhabi. I own it. Okay, Wahhabi is not the same as Ashari. All right, Wahhabi, even if you look it up, Wahhabi bases everything on Quran and Sunnah and nothing else. Look it up on Google. Ashari bases everything on Quran, Sunnah, and science. So you new Shahadas are going to have to make a choice. Otherwise, you're going to be confused and messed up in life, because I am total opposite of them brothers and sisters y'all following. All right? So my kids got it right. The Quran is the words of Allah. It's not the creation of Allah. It's the words of Allah. And we don't need science to prove anything. I don't need science to prove this. Okay? All right. What about this question? How many surahs or how many chapters are in the Quran? Does anybody else want to answer besides Najra? And here's somebody new. Zora. Sister Zora. Oh, Zora's here. Zora. How many surahs or how many chapters are in the Quran?
114.
Do you guys agree? Mashallah, good job, good job. 114 chapters. Good job, new Shahadas. You got it right too. Okay, the brother here is, or the sister here. Yes, it's not the creation. Okay, the sister here is saying, we were given a quiz by, I don't even want to say that person's name publicly, and he told us it's the creation. Well, like I told you, where's his proof? You're going to be twisted, sister. You got to stop learning from them. You got to choose me or them. Me or them. Okay? Okay, and there's 114 chapters in the Quran. All right, good job. Okay, what about this? We talk when Juz Amma, Juz Amma, Juz Amma. These chapters mostly address issues related to what? The stories of the prophets or rules regarding money? Anybody else want to answer besides Shuaib and Asma and them who already have? Anybody new who has an answer want to answer? Go ahead.
Answer.
Go ahead.
It's the wait, what was the answer?
Okay, what does Juz Amma mostly address? Does it address stories of the prophets or the issues regarding money?
Stories of the prophet.
Okay, do you guys agree with Amalia?
Yes.
Yes, mashallah. Stories of the prophet. Juz Amma. Juz Amma. As Sister Sabrine pronounced beautifully for you guys. Juz Amma. Juz Amma. You know, it reinforces our pillars of faith. Rules regarding money is not a pillar of faith, okay? Although it does address Sharia laws too. I mean, you could say yes. We can say yes to both of them. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Sister Aisha, we can say yes to both. I shouldn't have put it up here like that because I wanted to focus on the faith. But yes, also Juz Amma does address the Sharia too. But I probably shouldn't have put that second one up there. I was talking when I did the PowerPoint. I wanted to focus on faith because that's what I'm going to focus on with you guys in here. The verses of Juz Amma regarding the pillars of faith is what I'm going to be focusing on with you guys, since you are new Shahadas and the kids here. But yeah, it addresses rules regarding money. What about this? Let me ask this question. Does Juz Amma, if you want to learn in Islam, you want to learn about marriage, you want to learn about how to get married, okay, would I basically turn to Juz Amma for that? What do y'all think? I want to learn about marriage. Would I basically turn to Juz Amma for that?
No, I think you turn to the hadith.
Good job. Exactly. No, when I'm looking for marriage and all of that, you're going to find marriage in the chapters like Surah Baqarah and all of that, like what Doctor and all that, but not so much Juz Amma. Juz Amma addresses issues related to faith, the laws of the Sharia, and also a lot of stories from the past. Okay, stories from the past. Everybody got that? Exactly. Okay, what about this? This is a good question. One of the new Shahadas is asking this. Let me ask my kids here to see if they know the answer. The new Shahada is asking, since Juz Amma, since it mostly relates to the articles of faith, can we say that many of those chapters were revealed during the Meccan period of time? Do the kids know that answer? What do you think, Asma and Sabrina and Tahira? Since Juz Amma is mostly addressing the articles of faith, what it means to believe in Allah and all of that, can we basically say that many of those surahs or many of those chapters were revealed in when the Prophet was in Mecca? Can we say that? What do y'all think? Go ahead, Sabrina.
I think yes, because he was living in Mecca and he was having a very hard time with the people there. And so I think Juz Amma was dedicated to him because he was trying to survive as most of the leaders.
Exactly, and that's the correct answer. Exactly. So yes, remember we talked about that in our Mecca-Siddiq Tafsir class. The Mecca-Siddiq Tafsir class. You know, when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam spent his time in Mecca, those years that he spent in Mecca, those were the years that he spent developing the faith of the people. Allah sent down the laws during the Medina period. It wasn't until he really moved to Medina that the laws of Sharia really came down. The laws of hijab and all of that didn't come down into Medina. The laws about alcohol and all of that came down in Medina. But the Meccan period of time was the time spent, you know, developing what it means to believe in Allah, what it means to believe in his prophets, his angels. So yes, you can say that. Good job, Sabrina, and good job to the new Shahadahs. You can say that many of the surahs or the chapters in Juz Amma were revealed during the Meccan period. Good job, mashallah. So now what I'm going to do is go to the second part of this class. This is the book He Was by Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli. This is a picture of Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli, the old man. And we're going to be addressing hadiths about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because this class on Sundays consists of Aqidah, which is belief, and hadith, which are the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad. I'm trying to give you guys a depiction of how our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was. You know, we talked about belief with Juz Amma. Now we go into the hadith, the Sunnah. The Prophet Muhammad, he was very articulate and he was very assertive in how he spoke. This is why, as a teacher, as a daya, I am always on you as my students to be more articulate, to be able to explain yourselves like Sabrina can do, like Asma and Najma does, like Shuaib does. You see how well my kids here express themselves. See how well Amalia expresses herself. See how well Tahira, and they answer questions in sentences. Unlike the adults. The adults here give me choppy, short answers and can't articulate well. Well, the children can articulate very well, and this is something that we all need to be able to do, because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was very articulate and assertive in his speech. You want to be articulate and assertive. Let's look at the hadiths that address that. We have this hadith from Anas. He said that when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam made a statement, he would repeat it 3 times. He would repeat it 3 times. He would repeat it 3 times so that it would be understood from him. And that when he met a group of people, he would give them the greeting, and he'd give them the greeting 3 times. Now, a lot of my new Shahadahs ask me, Sister Laila, why is it that when you're giving your classes, you will repeat things 3 times? Now you see why. If something is of importance, that's another hadith too. Another hadith, which is also from Sahih Bukhari, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would repeat things 3 times. not only so you could understand it, but also so you would know the importance of it. In fact, we have the hadith from Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him. He said, if the prophet repeated something 3 times, we knew that meant that this was very, very, very important. So that's why when you hear me speak, when I'm teaching my classes, if I say something 3 times, like I say, you cannot smoke cigarettes. You cannot smoke cigarettes. That's something that's important. When you listen to Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli, when Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli repeats things 3 times, you know it's important. We all do that. Dr. Ali does that. Sheikh Morsi will do that. Dr. Dramali will do that. So, because we're following in the footsteps of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, and you should do it too. If it's something that's really important to you, say it 3 times. And also the second part of this hadith, whenever the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam met a group of people, he would give them the greeting 3 times. There's only one person. In my 63 years, I've only known one person to follow this sunnah, and that is Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli. When I was married to Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli and we would travel, if a group of brothers would come to him, he would say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuhu. He's the only one that followed that sunnah that I have met personally. Okay? So this is another sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That let the people know that he was so glad to see them, to meet with them. Okay? Because he repeated it 3 times. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he could speak well. The Prophet Muhammad never spoke above the people, nor did he speak beneath them. And this is a problem today. A lot of these brothers who are lecturers, they speak in all this Arabic. You have to know your audience. American Muslims don't speak Arabic. Subhanallah, speak to the people in a language so they can understand. The Prophet Muhammad did not speak above the people, nor did he speak beneath them. And the Arabs had 7 different dialects. He spoke whatever dialect the people spoke. He didn't go to the Quraysh speaking in a different dialect. He didn't go to the Ansar speaking in a different dialect. He spoke in the dialect of whatever the people spoke. Okay? And also, he was so articulate. He made his talk interesting. He wasn't boring. As his wife Aisha, radiallahu anha, said, the speech of the Prophet Muhammad was so articulate that all those who listened to it would understand it. He spoke on their level. Are you brothers doing that today with all this Arabic? Come on, just break it down. If you don't know how to say it in English, that means you shouldn't be speaking. You shouldn't be doing a lecture with that group. If all you know is Arabic, then go give your dawah to Arabic people. The people that speak English need to be able to understand it. They need someone to break the basics of Islam down in their language so they can implement it. That's how our prophet was, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay? Also, another companion tells us that when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam preached, if he was showing, he was passionate. Now, this is one of the critiques that I get a lot. Everybody says Laila's too passionate. Oh, I don't care. The Prophet Muhammad was passionate. I'm following the Sunnah. It's not my fault that Islam has become so watered down, that Muslims have become so far away from the Sunnah that when you come upon a person like me who speaks like the Prophet, you think I'm evil and mean and aggressive, and you can't stand to hear it. You want to go listen to those sexy women who are always getting caught up in these sexcapades with these famous men. You want to go listen to these sexy, sweet talking United Kingdom women, you know, with those accents. They have beautiful accents. I'm sorry, these women in the UK need to stop speaking, because I have to admit, they have some most beautiful voices. They're beautiful women, you know, with beautiful voices. But they shouldn't be on the internet, okay? And they're the ones getting caught up in these sexcapades with these famous dower brothers. They should have kept their mouths closed, okay? Passion. You have to be a passionate person. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he preached, his eyes would become red, his voice would get loud, and his anger would become so intense when he was warning the people. When he was warning the people about paradise and hell, okay? It was like he was warning us of an army approaching. Okay, the Prophet Muhammad was passionate. This is Sahih Muslim. We can't deny this. He was not a soft-spoken man. A lot of these famous lecturers, I can't stand to listen to these brothers. They sound like women. They have no passion. A true orator, a true speaker knows how to make his voice go up and down, up and down. Why? Because it's our job to shake the heart. It's our job to ignite your fitra. The Prophet Muhammad knew how to ignite the fitra of a person. You didn't fall asleep listening to him. His voice commanded attention. It was as if you could feel the hellfire. He put the fear in your heart so deep. And then he can make you weep when he talk about paradise. He'd bring it down so that the people could actually feel as if they were in paradise. That's a passionate speaker. That's the way we should all speak if you're going to be a daya. I'm sorry, brothers. You can critique Laila Nasheeba all you want to, but listen, y'all can't stop listening to me, can you? The numbers don't lie. 70% of the people that listen to my lectures are men. 70% of my followers are men. And a lot of you brothers try to imitate me. I hear it. Y'all use my sayings and everything. So, you know, you can critique me all you want to, but deep down, you know that the way I speak is the way you should speak. And you might be jealous because you can't do it, because it's a gift. Speaking is an art. I went to school for it. I learned how to speak publicly. I have a degree in communications, public speaking. Okay? And as for you sisters, the girls here, you never speak softly publicly. Allah says in the Quran, do not soften your voice, O you women who believe. Do not soften your voices publicly. Make your voices intimidating. Make your voices strong, because you don't know the fitna that lurks in the heart of men. When we look and see all this fitna on the internet, these women coming forward complaining about how these famous brothers abuse them sexually. These women, I mean, the brothers are wrong, yes, but the women brought it on themselves with those soft voices. You shouldn't have been speaking. You got these beautiful accents, and listen how the one sister that's complaining, her voice is so soft and sweet. Boy, if I was an LGBTQ, I'd go look for her. I mean, come on, guys. You sisters, bring it on yourselves. What are you doing talking like that? If you don't know how to make your voice like Laila Nasheeba's, you need to shut up and go home. You shouldn't have been in the circle of these men anyway. Because men are sick. Men are weak. Like the prophet said, the greatest fitna for any man is a woman. Even the most righteous of men can be tempted by a soft-speaking woman. You can be, if you could be a saint, let a soft-spoken woman come around speaking like that sister is speaking in her video, you will bring him down and he'll take you in. So you women, the brothers are wrong. for abusing their position and doing what they're doing to the women. But you sisters are bringing it on yourself, cause and effect, because you're not obeying Allah. Allah tells you women, oh, you women who believe, when you speak publicly, make your voices strong, loud, and intimidating. If you can't do that, shut it up. But you women are calling yourselves women of the dower. Y'all sitting up on YouTube with those voices and accents from the UK. And then you want to know why the dower brothers are using you, treating you like tramps. Because that's what you're doing. You sound like a tramp. You're behaving like a tramp on the internet. My Muslim girls here, I'm telling all of y'all, if you can't speak like your teacher Laila, then jump back, poppycat, because men are weak to us. Any man listening to me, he's not thinking of me sexually. Any man listening to me is angry. He want to know, how dare she talk like that? Yeah, because Allah told me to. But if I were to sit there and soften my voice like those UK women are doing, these men would be in here trying to marry me, trying to pick me up, trying to follow me, trying to rape me even. So I don't want none of my Muslim kids, none of my Muslim girls to talk like those women. If you can't speak like me, then shut up. And that's a command from Allah, because men are weak to women. A woman is a man's kryptonite. Soft, beautiful voice, he'll fall for you. Okay, so our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he gave the dawah, when he spoke with passion. He wasn't soft spoken. He didn't speak in a whisper. He didn't beautify and make these accents like these brothers are doing too. A lot of these brothers sound gay. That's why I can't listen to them. All right. So as a teacher or as a daya, we have to deliver the content, and try to put an effect to it. It's our job to shake the heart of the person. You want to enunciate each word, and you want to speak on the people's level. Don't use big words that they don't understand, and don't speak too much beneath them either. And also remember, if something is of importance, to repeat it 3 times. Okay? You pick the proper tone based on your audience. Most of the people who follow me are African American or from Africa. Africans and African Americans are passionate people. Africans and African Americans do not respond well to that soft crap, okay? And I can relate to that because I was raised by African Americans. So my speech appeals to them, okay? My dawah is for African and African American women. That's my targeted audience mostly, okay? And these are not women who are soft and weak. They're strong women. And they don't want to listen to some weak person. They want someone that's going to shake them, their hearts, and get their emotions riled. And that's why you brothers like me too. You talk about me, but you can't stop listening to me because you need to be riled as well. All right? So that's today's class, alhamdulillah. And I want to thank everybody for joining and participating. And also my 6:30 class. For the kids who are here, make sure you kids are here for the 6:30 class, because what we're going to do is speak about, again, more ways to keep our faith strong. We have to keep our iman strong, because once it weakens, that's when we fall victim to Shaitan and his allies. All right. So are there any questions about anything that we discussed today from the new Shahadahs or the kids? Any questions? Yes. Okay. So yes, the 6:30 class and also 9:30. The 9:30 class tonight is my class on establishing the Muslim home. Yeah, that'll be at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. All right, guys, I'm going to log out for right now. I'll see you guys back here at 6:30. And yes, I will. I didn't put it out. I'm going to put to yesterday's videos out now. I'm going to get busy with it now. I went to sleep last night. Yeah, I got some sleep for a change. So I'm going to do the videos now, inshallah. All right, guys. Subhana kala huma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum, everybody.
Waalaikum salam.